Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Oklo. It is time for another update, and on this chart we are tracking here a larger 1-2 setup that has occurred, and now we are looking for the third wave to the upside that would develop, and we have two very different patterns we could achieve this development in. Now these would also apply and shift how we see this structure in a wave 1, but really no change. We are still looking at it as a wave 1 to the upside. And if you want a more detailed view of the internals in this area, you can check out the previous video, because I went into great detail about how the structure really would look like, including in this wave 1, and what we would really be looking for, the many different options we could see here in the third wave to the upside. But the general idea is that for a larger wave 3 in white, we are looking for the 138.2% extension of the wave 1, and that is around the near $500 level, somewhere around that area. I may have not drawn this perfectly. It is around the $500 area in general. Now internally within this wave 3, I am looking at two main scenarios. And here in the yellow scenario, I'm looking at an ABC structure to the upside, which would end up being a third wave up, and it would be part of a larger diagonal structure developing in this area. Then we have the blue interpretation, in which we are tracking an impulse where we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, then another 1-2 set up here, a third wave developing in this area, and this third wave would be expected to develop in a 5-wave structure, the same as the wave C in yellow would be. So both interpretations are looking still for a 5-wave pattern in this area, right? This is the area of confluence between scenarios, the area of higher likelihood, higher probabilities to work out and build this structure. But in the blue scenario, we would be looking only here for a fourth correction, so a 4th wave correction of a wave 3, an internal wave 3, whereas in the yellow scenario, we would be looking at a completion here of the larger structure wave 3, and we would need to look for a much larger retracement in that case. So in both scenarios, we are still looking to achieve around the $500 area, the ideal target for a wave 3. But in the blue scenario, we could see much further extensions within this pattern, and probably even exceed such a target. Because in the end, within this wave 3 in blue, we actually have an internal target. If I look here, it is the $320 level. We would need to reach at least that, and I suppose we probably would reach that even within the yellow scenario. But we may need a further extension within the yellow scenario. It may not actually achieve the full target of the wave 3, or in the yellow scenario we may need to develop an extension ABC pattern. But again, in that case, we would still be looking, after we get the 5-wave pattern here in the wave C, we would still be looking for a quite deep correction afterwards in 3 waves. So leaving those targets aside for now, internally in this structure, we have been tracking this idea of a 5-wave pattern, and since we are tracking it in both the yellow and the blue scenario, I'm going to shift it internally to white, because this is the larger general trend that we are tracking, and it applies for both patterns, at least in this area. And we have here a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and now we are looking to develop here to complete a third wave to the upside. And internally within this wave 3, in the previous video, we were looking even at the possible top, and we would have had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern complete, and we could have headed into our larger retracement here in a wave 4. We had our support zone, but we even had possible continuation to the upside here within this orange scenario. And in that case, we were looking still for a 5-wave pattern to the upside. We did already have one, but we were looking at possible extensions, and here we had then a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up. We were looking for a correction here in a wave 4 in a diagonal structure, an ending diagonal within the wave 5, and then still a 5th wave to the upside to follow. Now in this interpretation, we did reach the support zone for such a wave 4, but based on its proportions, I actually believe that we haven't completed such a wave 4. In fact, I believe that this is all just an extension within this wave 3, and that we have still another wave 4 to build, and a 5th wave to have this full pattern look in an ideal way for such a fifth wave here in white to the upside. Now, in this case, I would be looking for a correction here in this wave 4 in the area between the $169.5 all the way down to the $136 level. Now, don't get me wrong, it is possible that this fifth wave has stopped. It is possible to count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the fifth, to have this pattern fully done, even as a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the fifth. It could also work. It's just a bit unlikely in my opinion, and I do prefer still another high within this larger wave 3, but we can assume that we did top and have a larger general support zone available, and in that case I would be looking here at the area between the $147.5 level all the way down to the $108.8 level. Additionally, here at the 50% retracement, we do have very significant structural support that could prove useful once we actually start this correction and build this movement, this pattern here in a wave 4 if we actually get to those levels. But those would actually need to shift to adjust and probably be out of the support zone if we manage to form another high still within the orange scenario. Now, as you may notice, especially since it is a diagonal pattern and we allow also the 61.8% retracement for a correction, the support zones do overlap and it is a bit unfortunate, but if you are interested in a position as soon as possible, you can consider this orange area of support for still another high to the upside. And if I'm looking at this correction, I am expecting something like an ABC pattern, and it does seem to build in such a way. And the ideal target for a wave C to the downside is the 100% extension of the wave A. We have so far reached the 61.8% extension, but I am looking for an ideal target in this wave C at the $149.6 level. But keep in mind, it doesn't need to get there and it doesn't need to stop there. But if this really does develop in an ABC pattern, I would be looking to build a 5-wave structure. So 1, 2, 3, 4th, and 5th in this wave C to the downside to consider it a clear full count. Now keep in mind, the corrections do sometimes end a bit early. We may get to the 38.2% retracement, the general ideal target for a wave 4, and start the fifth wave from there. No guarantee that we will get to the 100% extension once again. But for now, there really isn't much else to add. From a larger time frame perspective, I want to point out again, we are looking at this area in white between the $147 all the way down to the $108 level, and for a shorter time frame position, a shorter time frame aspect as well, we are looking at the area here in orange between the $169.5 all the way down to the $136 level. Unfortunately, again, since it is overlapping, breaking below the 61.8% retracement here is not an invalidation for the larger count and for direct continuation to the upside, and it's not even an indication that we will go much lower because we are overall in the larger support zone here in white. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.